We are going to contest that immediately. We think the state of Florida has standing to do it, and we also know businesses that we're going to work with to contest it. It's interesting with OSHA, and I didn't realize this until this became an issue, you actually can go straight to the Federal Court of Appeals. That's the way they do it. So you'll see cases in the 11th Circuit here in the Southeast. I reckon Texas will go into the 5th Circuit, and I think that the mandate is going to lose in court. I also think that we have a responsibility at the state level to do whatever we need to do legislatively to be able to protect Floridians from mandates that could result in them losing their jobs. We have to protect the jobs of Floridians. We were helped out the folks in Gainesville. They were going to fire some of the police officers, some of the utility workers, some of these people who had been on the front lines of helping our communities for the last year and a half doing their job. Then all of a sudden, you're going to tell them that they lose their job unless they too take a shot, which again, most of these people have had COVID and they have the right to make those decisions for themselves. So I just think it's fundamentally wrong to be taking people's jobs away, particularly given the situations that we see ourselves facing with the economy, where you need people in a lot of these key areas. What's going to happen with these hospitals if these mandates are allowed to go in where they already need more nurses? So what, you're going to end up doing this? And if even a small fraction of those nurses decide to go somewhere else or to leave, man, you're going to have huge, huge problems. Now, fortunately, our hospitalizations have been going down so dramatically that we're in good shape. But these others, the northern states, they're all rising, and they're likely to face similar wave that we saw this summer. So that's just the reality. It's not good policy. It's not good policy to destroy someone's livelihood, to take their job away. It's also not good policy to unilaterally impose a mandate that you don't have authority to impose. The OSHA does not have this authority. There's no statutory basis for it. This is a total reach that they're doing. It's also, of course, bad for the economy when you could potentially cause people to fall out of the workforce as a result of this. So let's protect people's jobs, let's protect their ability to make their own decisions, and let's not have Biden come in and effectively threaten to take away the jobs of people who have been working hard throughout this entire pandemic. I am offended that like a police officer could potentially lose their job. They were not given the ability to work from home. They didn't get to Zoom in to protect us. It ain't going to work to protect the public on Zoom. You got to be out on there. They were there the entire time. The firefighters were out there the entire time. And if someone had COVID, they'd have to go and expose themselves. For months and months and months this has been going on. And again, most of these people have already gone through it and have natural protection. So let's just be real here. And I think it's a huge overreach. So 100% in court. I also think legislatively protections for people so that they can't get fired, but also protections for them. I mean, if a business forces somebody to do this, then that employee, if there's anything that happens negative as a result of that coercion, they should be able to go in and then sue and get compensation and get damages for that. I also think we worked very hard in Florida to provide protections against COVID liability for businesses because we worried about people just going in and starting to sue to say, hey, I was in your business and I caught COVID, therefore it's your fault, that's just not the way respiratory viruses work. We've never done it that way. So we provided good protection, but if businesses turn around and now they're imposing mandates, then that protection to me is something that we would probably want to peel back from those businesses. So we're thinking through a lot of different things. I'm going to definitely want to see action on it legislatively, and then of course we are going to see action in the courts. I do think Biden's employer mandate, the mandate on private businesses, will go down. I also think the mandate on any hospital receiving Medicare, Medicaid funds, I think that it runs afoul of the law. That needs to be challenged. And then you have this one with the federal contractors. They're rewriting federal contracts to say anybody who's providing services to federal government must force this on everybody in their organization. Again, don't have the authority to do it. and not really a smart thing to do in terms of making sure we have the folks in place to keep our economy going, particularly in times when you see rampant inflation. You have all these supply chains disruptions, and a lot of that, again, is born out of bad federal policy.